but I didn't think of it for like Darius or something. But sure, we'll go over that. Okay, so we're gonna go over item builds for Darius. I think I might actually have a page for him already, but we'll see. Jesus Christ. I thought I already had one for Darius. I guess I don't. Play with more games with me? I'll play in a little bit. Give me time. This is gonna be like a little short video. We're just gonna go over some item sets for Darius. So we're gonna call this Darius. Um, Starting items will probably more than likely be. Hmm. I'm gonna say it. I always start Doran's Blade. Okay, I always start Doran's Blade 2 pots. Another option you can do is Corrupting Potion, but if you go Corrupting Potion, then what you're gonna have to do is get a Doran's Blade later on, or maybe a Doran Shield. I'm trying to think of matchups where you would start Doran Shield. I'll go ahead and say with Quinn, you can start Doran Shield, and that's really it. Darius isn't the type to get bullied in lane phase by someone like Renekton or Riven or something, so I'm not gonna say get a Cloth Armor like ever. So we'll go ahead and starting on. I'll throw a Corrupted Potion in there only because some people really like it with the synergy with the bleed. So we'll go with those as the starting items. Create new block, first back. Alright, so for first back, almost always we're gonna go for Black Cleaver. Actually, we are always gonna go for Black Cleaver. So we're gonna throw Phage. If you want to go a little bit on the tankier side, you can go Jarm's Fist. But the only reason you would ever go Jarm's Fist is if you want to go Steric's Gauge. Now, Steric's Gauge is one of those tricky items. Like sometimes you can see it as an AD item, sometimes you can see it as a defensive item, or offensive and defensive. I consider it an offensive item, but I won't think twice if I'm really fed and I want to get the Sterics because they have an overabundance of magic damage, and getting the early Sterics is pretty good. But again, for the first back, these are pretty expensive items, so you have to make sure that you farm a lot better than like normally. It's because if you're using Darius and you recall and you get double longsword, it's not that good, you know. I just don't really like it. Like he needs HP. Alright. I started Dorn Shield yesterday against Trundle. Was that good? I'd probably just go Dorn's Blade and just try and outbully him. Trundle's one of the few that can actually beat Darius early, but if you play Darius correctly with the heal and then everything, no, you should be able to beat him. Um, we're gonna go ahead and throw in Executioner's Calling for Mundo. Okay, if you're against Dr. Mundo as Darius, which happens quite a bit, people kind of pick Mundo into Darius as a counter pick, and he is post 6. I'm gonna throw Executioner's Calling in there. I'm a really big fan of buying Executioner's Calling against Dr. Mundo. Like I've played Shen against Mundo, I've rushed it, and it's really really good if you want to gank Mundo early, or even until he gets his second point in his R. I think that's what, level 11. Yeah, up until level 11, Executioner's Calling is really really strong against him. Okay, what else? Early items for first back. If you're against a magic damage dealer, you can. No, we're not even gonna go Hexdrinker. We're just gonna rush the Phage into Black Cleaver. So first back, first completed items will be Black Cleaver or Steric's Gauge. Not to be confused, you need to finish Black Cleaver first. Like, this needs to be done first. We're gonna put that there like that so people can see this needs to be finished first. Okay. Once you finish Black Cleaver, you can go practically anywhere tanky with it. You need to go tankier now. After Cleaver. After Cleaver, you can do these items. I'm gonna leave the Executioner's Calling there, kind of as like an optimal pick against Mundo. I'm not gonna put in Mortal Reminder in there because people are gonna mistake that and try and rush it every single game, no matter who they're against. And this is it. You know, this is all you need from the offensive tree. Just Steric's and Cleaver. Now we're just pretty much just gonna go a bunch of armor and MR. We're gonna go. Dead Man's Plate, by the way, is an offensive item. Okay. That's actually how we're gonna put it. We're gonna go offensive tank. Alright, now these items are offensive and somewhat tanky. Okay. Deadman's Plate, you get bonus damage from it. Sunfire Cape, bonus damage. Steric's Gauge gives you a lot of AD. So, yeah. We'll also throw in Malmortius and Mercurial Scimitar. Okay. So, for these, I'm going to explain each one of these. Steric's Gauge, if you're against some bursty magic damage champions, or bursty AD champions, you know, Renekton, Riven, LeBlanc, maybe Zed. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is it gives you a lot of AD. So, that's the reason it's an offensive take. Sunfire Cape obviously deals magic damage, which is pretty valuable on Darius since people like to build stack armor against Darius. The Sunfire Cape will take its toll. Same thing with Deadman's. It deals magic damage after you get full charge. And Malmortius is just, well, it's that's an offensive item, but it does give you a nice little shield. Mercurial Scimitar, mostly you get that if you're against like a ton of CC and maybe a Zed thrown in there. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Zed ultis you, which you should never do. Pop your the Scimitar, you're good. You get CC locked early. Mercurial Scimitar and Steric's Gauge are a really nice combo, but again, it's extremely offensive, so you kind of want to stay away from that. So we're just going to go defensive tank here. Defensive tank, Banshees. I'm not going to say that it's a rush item. It's a situational. You're going to rush Spirit Visage, and you're going to rush Randy's or Frozen Heart. Frozen Heart, situational item, of course, if they have a lot of auto attack based champions. If you're going against someone like Jax, Aurelia, get that Frozen Heart. And Frozen Heart, Randuin's Omen stack together is really, really strong. But this is typically what you want to go defensive items that are tanky. So yeah, here you can pretty much like go from what do you want to go? Do I want to go the offensive route? If I want to go offensive on Darius, I'll pick these items. If I want to go defensive, I'll pick these items. And then we'll go with boots next. Notice I do not put a GA in the build. I don't ever get GA on Darius. I don't think it's that good. The MR armor it offers just isn't good. The passive is okay, but like you really don't want to waste that much gold on an item that's just okay. Alright, now for the last and final piece, we'll go over boots. If you are really far ahead, you can go ahead and go Lucidity boots early. With your Black Cleaver, you'll have like really high CDR. But that's only if you're super far ahead. You know what I mean? Other options, boots are Swifty boots really, really strong on Darius early. I'm not a fan of Merc Treads, but if you're against someone like Lysandra, or it's anyone that can have like continuous CC, by all means get the Merc Treads. Okay, but I mean that's really the only scenario. Like, oh, they have a Thresh, let me get Merc Treads. No, just get Swifty boots. You know what I mean? Oh, they have a Lulu, let me get Mercs. Nah, just get Swifties. You have Lysandra who has consistent slows and stuns and stuff like that, then get the Mercs. Let's see what else. Tabai is not that good, but I mean, if you're against 480 champions, by all means get that too. And these are pretty much your boot options. And I think this is it. I mean, it's not that bad. You have the starting items, your first recall, what to get. First item needs to be done is Black Cleaver, and this is really important. Like some people like to go Phage and then go tank, but the Black Cleaver is just too strong. You know what I mean? Like 20% CDR, gives you HP, gives you a nice rage passive. Like you need to get the Black Cleaver first. Offensive tank items, if you want to be a little more aggressive, like if you're far ahead and you can afford to get some of these, then go ahead. If you're even or behind, just go play it safe, guys. You know what I mean? And here's your boot options. But this is my item breakdown. Patch 5.24 Darius. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I believe I have my item sets already set up on my Twitter account. I think I have them pinned. So you can see my Trinimir, you can see my, although I'm probably not using Trinimir anymore, so I should probably delete it. Trinimir, you can see Rumble, Riven, Renekton, Jax, Aurelia, Gangplank. Alright guys, so never finish Executioner's Calling. You can as a last item, and you're against Shen, or against Mundo.